Hello and welcome to the Apex Racing TV esports studio and our coverage of the Racing Unleashed GT3 series. There's no Matthew Duffin here tonight, however, we do have myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside David Sampson to take you through the action. And whilst David, this will be our first round covering this championship, it is a familiar combination. It's GT3 cars at Road America for an hour. A combination that any iRacer will be familiar with and very welcoming of.
Yep, great to be here. Yeah, our race at Road America. I love this track. I think for GT racing, I always say whether you like it or not for hot lapping, for actual racing, door-to-door racing, this has got it all. So yeah, really excited. It's going to be fantastic with 60 cars on the grid.
Absolutely. Well, before we get into talking about this round of the championship and into the qualifying and into the race, let's have a look at some of the hardware that Racing Unleashed offer at their sim racing centres.
Is awesome. First of all, starting off with the tub, the chassis itself. This is actually handcrafted in Italy and it's designed to simulate effectively what it's like to be in a single-seater environment. Now, when you lower yourself inside here, you are sitting in a real carbon seat, which is very tricky indeed. Now, what self-respecting single-seater wouldn't have a removable steering wheel? This also carbon effect, real carbon shifters here, and there is a plethora of tech for you to learn as you go down the Racing Unleashed journey. Now down there's a really trick pedal box. Once again, this is designed to simulate what a brake servo is like on a single seater with high downforce, really stiff, really reassuring, and you can actually adjust the pedal box itself to get your optimum feel. Now then, racing harnesses. This for me is my favorite feature. There is a retention system inside the shell itself which simulates G-force under heavy braking, and it can actually replicate up to 5 Gs of deceleration. It's super immersive. When you try it for the first time, you can't believe how much it adds to the overall immersion of driving a single seater. And then to tie it all together, down here at the back, we've got the hydraulic actuators, and this simulates the lumps and bumps, going over curbs, undulations, and just general movement of the car. All in all, it's one of the best simulator experiences you're going to find anywhere.
Thanks to Racing Unleashed for that video, and of course do check out racing-unleashed.com in order to find details about Racing Unleashed. They've got sim racing centres across Europe, and it is an awesome event to go to and try out their rigs and maybe even some of their competitions as well. But let's get on with tonight's racing, and of course the first round of the championship held at Nürburgring, and this second round here at Road America. We've been to some pretty big circuits when it comes to the world of motorsport. And of course, we will be going to Hockenheim later on in the season, Daytona, Monza, Spa, Road Atlanta, Suzuka, Watkins, and Sebring. All of those events every other week into December to round out the year. And there's some pretty nice prize money as well, David, up for grabs for the drivers, €875 for the first place driver.
Yeah, very nice. And what a track list that is. But yeah, great prizes all the way down to 5th, is that?
Yes, down to 5th in the pros and also down to 5th as well in the AMs, €500 for some of these AMP drivers, which will be the first prize money that they would have earned in sim racing, as I'm sure will be the case as well for some of the pros as well. So really fantastic prize pool being offered by Racing Unleashed. And of course, let's have a look as well at the standings. It's only one round, so this was the result last time, and Hugh Bartzer, we're familiar with him. David, he is a very quick driver and he dominated last time out at Nürburgring. He looks very tricky to beat.
Correct, yeah. Obviously, esports driver. Yeah, I had a scan of the entry list to familiarise myself, and yeah, it's going to be an awesome race. We've got some big names up there, some that didn't compete in round 1, so interested to see how they fare at this very popular track that everyone knows really well.
Definitely, and of course, pre-qualifying is a thing as well, so drivers had to qualify even to get into this event. Here's the amateur standings. It's Varvanen, who also was quite dominant, but it can go one way or another with the AMs. Usually even the top placed AMs are positioned around 15th to 20th on the track, and that is an area of the circuit where you can get involved in incidents, and some of the other AMs were involved in those incidents last time out. So perhaps tonight we might see that field a little bit closer than what we saw previous. But let's have a look at the format as well. One of our other series that we broadcast as well on the channel has a similar format to this one, and we've got the 22-minute qualifying session, and then the 60-minute race with a 60% fuel capacity limit as well.
It's good. You introduce the fuel saving, pit stop, and a teeny bit of strategy to make the trains disperse when the big pit stop happens.
I imagine there's going to be quite a lot of fuel saving, you reckon, here? Like,
For sure.
I think of this pace, long straights and heavy braking zones, and that's ideal fuel saving.
And it's a big field with, lots, like you say, lots of heavy. Turn 5, they're going to be lifting so early. As long as they find a train that are compliant and not battling each other, yeah, we're going to see a lot of fuel saving.
Absolutely, it should be really good. And just a word as well on what I was saying earlier on with the pre-qualifying. This time we had about 95 drivers try to get into this event. However, due to iRacing capacity limits and obviously the fact that it's probably best not to have 95 drivers on track, it's only the top 30 pro drivers and the top 30 AM drivers. So everyone on the field is very competitive. It should mean that the field is very close to one another and will hopefully produce some fantastic racing as we saw back in round 1 of the championship. But let's have a look, or a closer look, at this circuit that we have here at Road America. Turn 1, I think one of the most underrated corners in motorsport personally. I think in these GT3 cars are very good. I think in a prototype, it's even better. The speed that you can carry through that turn 1, quite a narrow exit, but when you nail it, it's very, very satisfying.
Correct, yeah. 1 and 3 they look easier than they are, so you can carry a lot more speed. It does make for a good start to the race. I think IRL now, their runoffs are completely tarmac, so yeah. I'm happy to keep this version for the time being. And obviously turn 5, that's where we're going to see a lot of opportunities, especially at the start of the race to help fix any qualifying positions. You can go pretty deep, a lot of moves will be made here. Very tricky 6.
Really, yep.
Off camber, uphill, horrible braking. If someone sends it, it's very hard to hold the outside. And obviously flat 7, well...
Is it flat?
It is flat, yeah, it is flat. Obviously, depending on your fuel load and if you haven't overheated your tyres and if you're, or the opportunity of someone sending it, but yeah. I like turn 8, but it's easy to get it wrong. We're going to see lots of people in the gravel trap there. It's just one of those corners where if you carry too much. 9, good corner. It's just everyone has their own technique, how to get through it. And then obviously the very iconic 11, flat, obviously easy.
And if we are going to see any pile-ups, it's going to be on the exit of
Correct.
turn 11. If you hit the wall there, then you're going to bounce back into the middle of the circuit, and it's almost impossible for the drivers to avoid you at that point. Turn 12, or Canada Corner, is next. Bill Mitchell Bend, which is almost flat in these cars.
It can. I just don't think it's worth it for the tyres. I think, I don't really think you're getting a lot apart from just overheating the tyres. And then the last corner is a tricky corner, and I think that's what makes this track so good, because the long straight has a technical corner leading up to it. So you can set yourself up to upset the driver in front and make the opportunity on the straight into 1.
Absolutely. And as we have seen on in broadcasts in the past, a photo finish here at Road America is going to be tricky in these cars, but I wouldn't totally rule it out. Maybe not for the win necessarily, but lower down the field at the end of the 60 minutes, the drivers may be separated by millimeters as they approach the line on that last lap. Well, let's go over to the track then, because we are currently midway through qualifying, and the way that the qualifying session works here is the first 10 minutes are allocated for the amateur drivers, and the last 12 minutes are acclaimed to the pro drivers. So we should have up to 30 drivers on track at any one time, and the amateur drivers currently putting in their best efforts. So far, no one with a lap, because it is a long lap here, Dave. So even with 10 minutes, which is longer than what you get in the official series, it can be tricky to put in a representative lap.
Yeah, there's always a lot of nerves here at this track, especially for the off-track. I mean, it's not that the off-track system's bad here. It actually is pretty good, but to get the fast lap, you've got to push, and this track just invites curb-to-curb cornering where you're right at the limit. 1 and 3 especially, you've committed to that throttle so early and hoping that you'll get it back in time.
Yeah, it's absolutely the case. And some of the drivers are now putting in their first laps. 2-minute 4, that is very strong there from Eno Varvanen. These conditions are a bit different to what we had in the pre-qualifying sessions. I think it's a little bit warmer, but the track might be a bit more rubbered in, so it may counteract the lack of grip. And I think the best times in pre-qualifying was about a 2-minute 4.4. So the fact that Varvanen, an amateur driver, is already in the fours early in the AM session is very impressive, and he's a long way clear of his nearest rival.
Yep, decent lap. And I was expecting to see a lot of Ferraris, and he's hanging it out there with the Lamborghini. That's a great lap. See someone trying to get out the way. Draft can be helpful here. There's 2 really long straights. Just a couple of corners where dirt is not ideal, but I think overall, over the lap, draft would be beneficial. Quite
Yeah, if you can get your teammates involved, then yeah, that could be an advantage. Should have 29 amateur drivers. We've got 22 who have set time so far.
Yeah, I do like the carousel. It's just, like I say, everyone has their own technique on whether they're tight on entry or they open it up and try and minimize how much throttle they lift. And yeah, you're right. Cold tyres, lap 1. If we see any major deaths, it will be here in the kink. Just someone getting it wrong or overcooking it, or, you know, at the end of the day, I said it's flat, but in the Porsches, you need to know what you're doing. It's on the tippity edge of a Porsche.
Sure.
Any imbalance mid-corner or, yeah, and it's going to be very difficult to save it. I think the Ferraris and the Lamborghini is very planted.
It's a wretched corner as well when it comes to multi-class racing, because you have prototypes going for quite late lunges, and GT3s just have to turn out of it and can often get sucked into the wall should they have to hesitate their turn-in slightly. So as long as we don't have too many blue flags, and I don't think we will have too many blue flags, we should avoid issues like that. Alal moves up to 2nd position, by the way, the Frenchman, and I think he's still pushing on his next lap as well. But Varvanen is out on circuit as well, looking to put even more distance. And of course, whilst the drivers do score points for their class position in the race, so it doesn't matter if you finish 17th overall. If you win in the amateurs, you get 75 points. That's the most that you can get. In qualifying, you can qualify ahead of other pro drivers. So if Varvanen can keep this place, he could well have 5 or 6 pros between him and his nearest AM rival.
Yeah, it's massively important for the AMs to do that, because they stand the best. That's the best way for them to score huge points. The pros can't really do any trick like that. But if an AM can, like you say, get 5 pros between him and his nearest rival, that's mega for his opportunity for points during the race. Because we're going to see a lot of trains here. Not boring racing, trains. Trains for fuel saving. They'll break into many groups based on pace and everything in the end, or if a little mistake happens. But yeah, I love the racing at this track.
And we do have live stewarding as well for this event. A couple of live stewards actually to keep track of this very, very big field. So yeah, they'll be dishing out drive-through penalties, post-race penalties, and yeah, everything that needs to be given. We did have a few penalties last time, maybe 4 or 5, I believe, given across the 60 minutes. So if anyone does fall out of line, then they will feel the repercussions of it, and they'll know about it fairly soon.
Watch him take the kink, nice and flat, nice and smooth. Oh, last time I was here as an LMP2, so this feels really slow.
Yeah,
feels really slow.
It's a very high sensor speed circuit as well, I think, this, because of the trees lining the circuit. And the fact that I guess we don't really ever see anything super quick around here. Like, you don't see GTPs, you don't see Formula 1 cars. Sure. And so really like well, no, to be fair, I guess we do see GTPs, don't we, because of IMSA.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really the fastest car. But yeah, it is a really great circuit, this. Top 5 in the world, I think, objectively. And,
for the actual racing, yeah, I agree.
Francisco then well, he's on an out lap at the moment, so he'll cross the line. He will get in this for last attempt. The AM drivers need to make sure that they start their final lap before the 10 minutes is up. So these guys, Alexandru, will be absolutely fine to do that.
Well, he obviously didn't have the fuel to go one more, which is understandable.
Best named driver in the series, Bernardo Carlos, up in P6.
I agree. Went through the list and I agree.
Yep. Everyone who I've shown the entry list to have all gone without any prompting. Bernardo Carlos, what a great name.
He plays football. It's just a brilliant name.
Luritzen blinking a bit. And also braking too late. Car behind him, 507 off Beltran. We'll hope he doesn't see too much more of that coming up. Beyond goes to P5. Michael Beyond there. We do have another driver on the channel who, Tangai Beyond, but they are not related, I believe. Beltran, however, cannot improve. He'll go back to the pits.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's tough when the blinking car is in front of you as well. And I think when it blinks, you lose the draft, which...
Yeah, yeah. Which I always think has no one... Like, how far could you push that? Like, someone could probably come up with something where...
Please don't.
If you're in, like, I don't know, last lap of Daytona 500, you just start blinking. Oh, my internet started playing up, guys. Oh, I won the race, but broke the drafts.
Because the iRacing prediction model can sometimes put you somewhere you don't think you are. That's the problem.
Sure.
You are gambling a little bit.
Negrosus, I think maybe his first appearance this season. We have got a lot of new drivers. A lot of drivers who missed out last or 2 weeks ago who have been able to qualify this time. It's really good to see that perseverance be rewarded. But also a lot of drivers who I think saw round 1 and the great racing that happened and signed up for round 2. And of course, as Lopez moves up to P3, by the way, you can still sign up for the rest of the series. And there are 2 drop scores as well. So if you join now for round 3, you can definitely still challenge for the title. So do check out apexracingleague.com for more details on that. It's a free entry and you can win a lot of money. No improvement there for Allow. And that will almost be the end of our amateur qualifying. Just this man is left to go. And he has set a couple of personal best sectors, so he might go faster.
Yeah, the middle, what's it, 3 and 4?
Yeah, looks that way.
But he is done.
Nice one.
It's the
Moves
time
up
of
to
the
P9.
pros.
So often we see the last driver across the line just do nothing in a qualifying session, and we get excited about it, and then it turns out, oh, they're second and lap
in
off
Formula
their
1,
best.
that's the lap we all watch,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. That's the one that counts.
Correct.
It's not usually the case in sim racing, but that, fortunately, Alvaro proved us wrong on that occasion. That was a worthy lap.
Correct. It's a cool camera angle. Following Gabriel here.
So this is the driver's first laps of the session.
What's the track time? Oh, it's nice and cool today.
Is 47 cool?
Oh, I was looking at air temp.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, wow. No, this is lava.
Welcome to everyone in chat, by the way. Very much appreciate you tuning in for the event. And yeah, if you do post who you are supporting, we might be more willing to show them on stream. So do let us know who you are supporting in this race. We've got 23 pro drivers who have signed up. I am not sure if I see our championship leader, Hugh Barter, who I was really waiting to join. I didn't see him in practice, but I thought he might just join the last 5 minutes, but I'm not sure if he is going to make it. And what I would say that Hugh only did the last pre-qualifying session of the week. I think they have 24 pre-qualifying sessions, and he did the last one. But unfortunately, isn't going to be racing, it looks like, which gives an opportunity for everyone else.
Yeah, I see him on the list. Let's hope he's turning on his computer.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, where's he? Oh, yeah, he is. Oh, yeah, but he's not in... yeah, he's not on track.
Yeah, he's going to go for a 1 lap, you know.
Yeah. Well, well, yeah. Over 10k is he, Barts? Apologies, my apology. I wasn't thinking he was in the session, but I wasn't scrolling down far enough. He is actually the 24th driver. He has not done any laps in practice, I believe. As already we're seeing the pros go faster than the AMs, albeit not by a big margin. It's Erdely currently at the top. But Varvanen, apologies. So, apologies, no. So, yeah, it is currently Varvanen, or no, now it's Nicholas Dalbish who goes to the top, who was fastest in practice, by the way, with a 24.6. So Dalbish does look very tricky to beat in his Lamborghini tonight.
Yep. Yeah, we've got 30 AM drivers out there. But one of them didn't set a lap time, Alejandro.
Yes. as Lewis Woods now goes to the top.
Yeah, some of the big hitters, 9Ks, 8Ks, 9Ks. Valentine's still not far though. Like he's a few hundredths off of Eric Rouseff's time just then. So that should it may even give him a gap to P2. We'll see as it progresses. Plenty of time left on the clock. And obviously they've got that 22 minutes, which is 10 each, but it just lets them finish their last lap, much like the AMs were able to.
Yes, exactly. So here comes Billy Harkler with his first efforts. Does this put him up anywhere near the top, or maybe he's just lining up for another lap right now? It looks that way. Oh, by the way, Hayden Miller letting us know in chat, Hugh Bart's joined just 5 minutes ago. Hugh is based down under, so it is very early in the morning for him. I think it must be 5 in the morning for him, so you can understand why he doesn't want to do practice.
Yes, I can. Plus, he doesn't need the practice.
Yes. But I think around this circuit compared to Nürburgring, you have to be more on your game. I think with Nürburgring,
for sure.
I think a driver of his caliber.
Yeah, we've got some excellent drivers out there. He's not. This isn't a free lunch for sure.
Yeah.
I just mean it won't take him long to find his peak.
Sure. Yeah.
They're not like us. Yeah,
No.
3 hours grinding laps for a 40-minute race or something. See, Eric Rousseff is still rocking the Ford.
Of course, the Dave Baker out there, absolute veteran of the channel, has been in broadcasts from Apex Racing TV since probably like 2014, something like that. So cool to see him driving out there. Famous Dave for finishing 6th. His car number used to be number 6 in another series that we hosted, because he always finished in P number 6, strangely. So we'll see if he can back that up. I would not bet against it, honestly, tonight.
That fastest AM time is holding on. That's less than 2/10 off the pole time right now. That's at Road America. That's impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, and even the others as well, like Alal and Lopez,
Yeah.
Parson and Duffner,
Yeah.
even there, around there. Vaporizer Wizard in chat saying Duffner and or supporting Duffner and Beltran, representing Team Redex. Got a lot of Team Redex drivers who have signed up to the series. It's great to see.
More times coming in as we put sit P. I'm going to change my stance. P. I want the overall. I'm not doing math.
Well, Harkler was one of the drivers who improved. He went to P8 in Pro, P12 in overall, but now we're getting to the top 7, separated by 0.2 of a second. Well, even the top 8s, when you include Varvinen, are separated by 0.2 of a second. So it is super close, way closer than what we saw at Nürburgring, where Hugh Barter really drove away from the field. And of course, we're still waiting for Hugh Barter's first lap time. He's only going to get a couple of attempts. Justin Claessen's backing off, letting some drivers pass, and will probably launch. You won't see the drivers do in-laps, but they will have to let drivers pass when they're on an out-lap. But of course, once they do their flying lap, they'll pull to the side of the circuit, toe back, go back out of the circuit to save any time they can. It's the top, Lucas Prada,
Yeah, brilliant lap.
by 0.5, which, considering the other gaps, feels quite a large gap. But it's now Ferrari 1-2.
Yeah, impressive. It's still very close at the top though. That 204.6 as Nicholas.
Oh.
Ooh, another 204.6. That's 3 people.
Barter's about to complete his first lap as well. Here he comes. I'm not sure what the sector times are like for him. I don't think they're quite matching. Certainly sector 1 was lacking a bit. And maybe he picked up a 1x, because I'm not seeing a time posted. So this will be his last effort. And Hugh Barter's a very talented driver, but he's not going to win this race from last on the grid. I categorically say that. So he needs to put in a good lap now.
I wouldn't put money on that if I was you, sir. But no, the field is very strong.
little bit wide there for Valverde. Hayden Miller letting us know that the Ferraris tyres are only good for about 2 laps because it's so hot.
Yeah, but that's the iRacing way, I feel, anyway. It's very hard to overtake. Just about keeping it facing forward, use that top speed.
Another good lap coming up for Prada. Not a great lap for Lewis Woods, but it's all... I don't know. I'm not seeing any of the top guys looking like they're going to improve at the moment on their last attempt, which they're now setting. Gabriel Erdely might be one of the few.
And Alou has lost his P2 or well, no.
We'll get a drive-through.
Yeah.
Or, as an amateur driver, he was out on circuit during the pro qualifying.
Well, yeah, I think he must have just crossed the line a few seconds after the session, after the allocation of his ended.
Erdely moved up to P4. Top 4 separated by under 300ths. I don't think we're going to see a closer qualifying than this all season long.
7,700 separating the top 5.
It's the longest track of the season as well, or one of the longest tracks.
On a lap.
P6, very good effort.
Very good indeed.
Hugh Barter, this is a big one for him, but it's not a good lap at all. This will probably only be about P15, I think. Where does it put him? Championship leader after 1 round. It's P24. Out of the pros. And that's the issue when you only have 2 attempts. He messed up his first attempt, and it seems like the tyres were not capable of delivering on that second attempt. So it very much looks likely that we are going to have a new race winner tonight, at least in the pro category. But, you know, Varvanen once again performing superbly in the amateurs to take a dominant pole.
Yeah, he's got 4 between him to his nearest rival. And that's to Nathan, who's got a drive-through penalty. So,
even better, yeah.
Yeah, to Francisco, it's he's got a nice, comfortable margin there. Just needs to keep it facing forward.
This is not a circuit where you want to drive through penalty either. This is probably the worst track on iRacing to get a drive through. Maybe Indianapolis might be worse, but I think Indy might have quite a quick pit lane, quite a high speed. So even that you get away with, but this is a long, long pit lane. You will not be happy with that. But there's Prada on pole position by 8 thousandths ahead of Nicholas Laubich, who was fastest in practice and was so close to going fastest in qualifying. Lewis Woods lines up in 3rd place. Then it's Erdely in 4th. Tom Ryer in 5th. There's Aleix Nogue, Vahamaki in 7th. Then it's Roseth and Varvanen top of the amateur drivers. Then it's Stephen Ash, Daniel Ferguson, Angelo Michel, Nathan Alal, Justin Claessens, Francisco Lopez, Corbin Lenaway, Vili Hakala, Alexei Partsnen, Jan Duffner, Alessandro Torquio, Marcus Valverde, Michael Bion, Miguel Alonso, Sinan Demirbas, Juan Pablo Sanchez, Ronaldo Carlos, Jan Sani, Alvaro Valcarce, Brian Driesman. I'll let the rest of the field go through for you because I don't think I'll get through all of them.
Yeah, we're coming around the 2nd to last corner, short pace lap. So obviously T1's going to be crucial. If you've got that inside, you've got a nice little advantage, but you can hold the outside, but then the corner 3 is another right-hander, which is even harder to hold. Obviously, if you can hold both and you can keep up with pace, you've got the huge advantage to T5 and 6. The pace car will be heading in any moment.
And then the field will be in control of Prada, who's got plenty of space, really. He can hang on or he can go early. Looks like he's going to hang on for a little while. Try to reduce the opportunity for the drivers to slipstream past him once they get to speed. And now they are to speed, and we are racing for round 2 of the season in the Racing Unleashed GT3 series.
P2 was away very slow.
Exactly. Laubich is already down to P4. I don't think he's going to make up any of those positions back into turn 1 a bit. He goes round the outside, might just recover that one against Erdely. He comes back against him. A couple of drivers picking up a bit of dirt on the outside of turn 1 as they rattle down into turn 3, and the long chase to turn 5 where overtakes are plenty possible will start for the first time now.
I mean, it might have closed up at the start. When it was about to go green, there was a huge gap back in further in the field. I don't know if that got closed just before.
As he just holds on Prada, but even his
Teammate
gap
swapping
is-
position there. But he had the inside, which is like we said, T5 massive. Oh, we got a first 3 wide. Oh,
Ooh.
and
Duffner.
our first 3 wide was also our last.
I think Duffner qualified P5 out of the amateur drivers, but he's fallen much further back than that now. But fortunately, will not need repairs, it looks like, from that instant.
Audi and Merc could see side by side here, as he does. Nice lunge. Can he hold it? Yeah, he's got that done. Even with the Merc's drive off the corner, you could see that coming a mile away. The Audi just had the run onto the corner.
Alal, not sure when Alal will get that drive through. It might not necessarily be on lap 1. It might be a few laps into the race that he gets given the drive through. So you don't necessarily expect him to be in straight away, but he does have a drive through to serve due to a qualifying infringement. Prada, after that good launch, has lost any of that small gap that he had created. He is under pressure from Woods. And this could be a lead train of maybe up to 10 drivers because they all seem so evenly matched and they'll all be desperate to save fuel in the toe of one another.
Yeah, it seems like a very fast pack. I'm just impressed with that AM driver. 3.1k hanging out there with the big boys, running very good. And yeah, we're seeing a huge train form already.
Yeah. A bit of a mistake for Tokyo. He has just lost maybe 4 places, I believe. So bad news for him now, 17th out of the pro drivers. We have 24 pro drivers. Just looking down the order to see how Hugh Bart's has got on. I don't think Hugh's actually taken the start, but I think so. I think he's decided to take this as a drop round and get some sleep. And I can hardly blame the man.
What a mentality. As Duffner is just, since that knock, he's just being swamped. I don't know if maybe a pinch of damage or just frustration, but every time the camera comes to him, he's getting swamped.
He can't pit now and get to the end of the race. He will need to go to about minute 25.
So there's a faster pair.
There is a faster pair, yeah. So
Oh, 3 wide, but very late. Yeah, he actually sort of backed out of that, realising that it probably would involve himself picking up damage as well.
I think that was well Chark.
He is going to go for it here. Very deep onto the brakes. BMW was thinking that would be clear for sure. Is the Ferrari going to take a look on the BMW here? No, he's just covering off the Porsche. See some dives behind us, hope they get through okay. Could be a tricky corner because, yeah, that sand trap is very uninviting, unfortunately.
So we've got some replays of the race start now.
So the big gap back there closed up, which is nice.
So initially,
T2 was napping, like
sure.
absolutely napping. He made the best of it here to cover off to get third, but
Well, he lost it again then.
yeah. Well, yeah, because the next corners are right, but yeah, absolutely sleeping. Or he was in 5th gear at the start, I'm not sure. But long race.
Nice move from Tom Ryer on the outside, so make that move. Oh, this involves Rojo, and it's just so narrow. So
Wow, the
narrow.
avoidance though.
Wow.
No one else got caught. The green car on the far left just, just didn't know it was 3 wide, and he's covering off a 2 wide.
So this is what happened to Duffner. We did see the aftermath of this.
Oh,
I don't think
That's
there's going to be
strange.
any penalties for that one.
well, no, Duffner got his own penalty because he made it 3 wide. He got the inside, and then, wow, that's some blinking. He then just tracked out a crazy amount of track count. I've never seen blinking like that before. No, I've never seen that. Yeah, the Ferrari, after sending it, after realising, after checking and realising it's 3 wide, just drifted out and, penalised himself.
So still Eno Varvanen, I think has lost a couple of places overall, but is still comfortably leader of the amateurs. Those up and down positions, that is for position within your class.
But he's maintained the train. The train actually breaks at 15th, which is impressive. But obviously, Alo's going to come in for that drive-through, so we'll see if Oleski can hold on to Corbin and maintain that train whenever he has to serve the drive through, of course.
Mitchell might be overtaken here by Rousseff, but not into kind of corner at least. Porsche might be vulnerable down some of these long straights. Porsche, when sign-ups first over for the series, wasn't quite popular. Seemed like Porsche and Ferrari might contend for the most popular car, but we have had a lot of drivers change to the Ferrari, feeling like it is the car to go for the remainder of the season.
It's a strong car, yeah. I think the only car that could battle this over a full season is the Lamborghini, not the Porsche. And I love the Porsche. As Alou is in serving his drive-through, it's going to see him lose a lot of positions. But long race, if he plays it smart, fuel saves. I mean, he's never going to recover the position he had, but he can still score some serious points. Yeah, as I was saying, if I had to pick a car over the full season, Ferrari, the Lambo can battle a season-long event. Porsche is just a little bit tricky at the big high-speed circuits.
We have got a penalty for David Worthrich for contact at turn 1, lap 1. I think we did see that, and he has been given that penalty. He's currently running in 19th place out of the amateur drivers, is David. Lepra, I think, has had an issue. We might come across him stranded. No, so we're currently ahead of him. We are,
yeah, he's dropping like a rock.
But yeah, I think maybe that's on the exit of turn 5, I think. Trail Breaking Racers, who was representing. But he's still stationary. But he hasn't towed.
We've had a little bit of a breakaway. David Baker, teammate of Ash and Ferguson. 1.2 seconds. 1.3, yeah, so that could be a serious now top 8 breakaway.
There goes a move from Pareda on to Doy. Here comes for Seth on Mitchell.
Yeah, so he's got that done. I think Mitchell is going to see some more action here from Justin. That Ferrari is going to be pretty fast in a straight line, but the Porsche will have the draft of Rousseff in the Ford, so he should have plenty to defend. Let's see.
I think you made a good point though about Baker losing the draft, and it's up to 1.4 seconds now, the gap between 8th and 9th.
Yeah,
so,
there's only so much a teammate can do to go fish and get you back, like drop off a little bit, but I think that gap is now too big. They just can't cast a line to catch him. Like it's unfortunate. Yeah, 1.5 seconds. So yeah, I think the top 8 are going to break away. Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened there, but it was only something small. We're talking about, you know, not even worth a replay. We're talking about 0.3, and that's it. And then, yeah, then we've no longer got this draft. Yeah, 1.6, 1.7. It's over. Doesn't look like much on the screen, but obviously, fast forward 20 minutes, and we'll see a big void fill that gap.
And Barben's got to weigh up his choices here. Could go for a move, but it's not for any points, and he's well ahead of Lopez, still 2 seconds ahead, as you can see on the timing board. So no need to make any rash decisions.
Agard in chat, cheering for his teammate Rousseff.
Yes.
Who is in P10 at the moment in class. He'll be calling it P10. I assume they score points based on their own position, so yeah, it's P10.
A 5-second post-race penalty for Jan Duffner.
Yeah.
For dive bombing another car. We saw a replay of that. Of course, it was Jan who lost out because of that incident anyway.
Yeah,
So
the shame was, it's crazy because he had actually controlled the dive bomb. It felt like he got it just under control, then decided to just come off the corner quick as well as the dive bomb, and ultimately, yeah, it's tough. You know, if the stewards are. Yeah, and here's a look at the incident again. So you can see he checks up, and it's just how he comes off this corner now.
Yeah. But and it's a strange one as well, because I feel like there was enough time for a spot to say 3 wide, inside,
Correct, yeah.
And yet he didn't drive in that way. He drove as though there was only one car to his outside.
Yeah, obviously we only get the TV camera. Yeah, we could have lost the rear. There could be a million explanations, and the incident was reviewed probably for not for the outcome. Like, you know, yes, he had his own penalty, is self-applied, but I suppose that's not the point. Woods is just following here. I doubt he's going to go for anything. He is just looking to set his lift point, save fuel. I mean, they are going a little defensive, but because they're all worried about the guy behind. You know, they can fuel save, but they're all worried about, you know, being sent on and not even losing the position, but losing the train. Yeah, the top 5, 6, 7 all still believe they can win this race pace-wise, so they really don't want to be out of the train.
Yeah, they're all driving it smart at the moment. No changes really in those top positions since lap 1. They are all willing to save the fuel and think of the long strategy. Here's Hayden Miller, 9th place out of the AM drivers. He's behind Thijs Stevens. And this is quite a big pack of drivers. We've got Jan Sarni a few places up. Michael Bion, I think, is at the front of this pack. And then it's Sarni, Trielsma. Stevens maybe dropping a little bit off now. You can see a bit of a gap forming, as there's been a crash for John Jennings and Juan Lazards.
They are both completely off track and beached.
Yeah, it takes a while now to get back on the track. Oh, that's, well, not long enough, because that was a bad rejoin.
No. I've seen bad rejoins. That wasn't that. That was awful. I mean, the guy behind as well looked like... I think their rejoins were probably worse than their crash. That's my guess. I think their crash was probably a soft door-to-door and they got beached. Their rejoins, however... Yeah, and ironically, he'll lose more time for the rejoin than he did for the crash.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get a drive for tearing off that poor Porsche's bumper.
Got some support in chat for Nathan Alau. Fortunately, a bit further back is Nathan. Where is he now? He's 17th place out of the amateur drivers. But he's only a third of a lap off the leaders, which, considering that he had to take a drive through, is not too bad. He's actually 33 seconds off the lead, as we have a change for the overall lead.
Yeah, Lewis has got it done into turn 5.
Now, is this a sign that he feels like he can break the draft? What's the strat here?
I don't think he knows he can break the draft, but I think he just thinks he has the pace to win, as we've seen a bit of a cluster. Yeah, it looks like Recef's dropped back.
Yeah, because he had passed class.
He had, yeah.
So Lopez now not far behind Barton. 0.6 of a second, the gap in the amateur lead. And that's what matters. It's not their overall position, it is their class. It is their position in class.
Sorry, Recef was actually ahead of Mikel as well. So he's gone from P10 to... Yeah, he's lost 4 cars, but 2 class positions. So something's definitely happened there. Yeah, back to the point. No, I don't think Woods thinks he can break the draft. I just think he thinks he can hit his target fuel number with the amount of draft he's had so far. Or he might have just taken an opportunity that came up where Prado didn't have the exit he would usually get, and Woods felt that he should now be defected to go. There's some replays coming in.
So this is the... well, I guess it's the orange car. Oh, well, you know what? That other car was just unlucky, weren't they? But I guess it's the orange car's fault.
Let's have a quick look.
The other car hasn't gone to... They've stayed dead straight, I think, as that other car.
I don't know.
Not gone to the racing line, but...
They're both... and this is the move for P1. Yeah, so... Yeah, he's not fighting that. He's just making sure he gets the P2 position. Yeah, hard to pass blame. Would need all the angles, but neither of them were being sensible with netcode, put it that way. Yeah, well, the guy on the right was kept opening the wheel to get back onto the track, and the guy on the right wanted to take the inside line when there was a car there. So when they met. Well, not wanted to take it, but he definitely wanted to squeeze.
Do you think there's ever any scenarios where you think both drivers should get a penalty?
Both drivers?
Because as a steward in other series, I don't think I ever did that. Like it would almost be, well, you're as bad as one another, so I'm not going to give a penalty to either of you.
Well, obviously, if you call something further back, maybe, but no. I don't even know if either of them would get a penalty for that, to be honest. I'm not sure. My point comes with their level of experience. They understand the netcode system and how it affects cars and where it affects cars, and yeah, just being a bit smarter. I don't know if you can penalise for that, though. So that's my point.
So the gap between 8th and 9th has grown significantly. It's now up to 4 seconds. That last lap, the top 8 were 1.5 seconds faster than Dave Baker. Wonder if Baker maybe got involved with Vasseth. We saw Vasseth
I don't think so. No, I think it's just it's not just draft, it's fuel, right? David Baker's also got nothing punching a hole in front of him, so his saving just costs him a little bit more lap time now. But you could be right, could be, but I would have expected this to be about the amount we see by lap 9, 10. It is tough.
Drive through for Juan Lazarts for poor rejoin.
Poor, that's a polite way of putting it.
Well, that's how the stewards put it.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it was a shame because, yeah, both of them, the way they rejoined the track was, yeah. No, I've been in their situation. It's tough, but you just got to breathe, right? The next few seconds aren't going to undo the last 10, 15 of the problems you just had.
Tokyo making his way back up through the order. He's up to 16th place now in the pros. He got past Valverde.
Some line changes there, but it's like he just wanted to fuel save. Have we checked in on Alu since the drive-through? Nathan is P16 in class, so yeah, I mean, it's really hurt him.
Yeah, he's well, it's not as bad as what I thought. He's 35 seconds off the lead, so I think he could still finish as high as 15th today.
Right, yeah.
But you'll need some favours from the guys ahead.
Top 6 potential breakaway. Looks like Daniel Ferguson in the Audi. It's minute though. If you one push lap and he can fix this, but yeah, slight breakaway in the draft there. It's only 2 tenths, you know. I'm not trying to be a drama queen. I understand it's not a lot, but the last one caused a huge gap.
By the way, if you want to tune into the live timing, there is a link in the Discord. Sorry, not in Discord. There is a link in the Twitch chat. I think it's also in the YouTube description as well. So do check that out. It's what me and David use, and we do spend most of our time staring down at it rather than watching the driving.
We're like Neo and those people in Matrix, right?
Yeah.
We just look at the code.
Yeah.
Yep, so that Daniel Ferguson gap is now 3 tenths, 4 tenths now. So unless group in front makes a mistake, we are now going to see a top 6 breakaway. All very fast drivers. But, I mean, Daniel Ferguson is a very, very fast driver, so, you know, far from ruling him out.
Here's a move. Tom Ryer wanting to make moves. I mean, it is all well and good being in a pack and saving fuel, but you want to be P2 come the pit stops so you can get ahead. I think that's what Tom's doing. He's realising, even at this point, they're still, you know, 15 minutes away from the pit stops. He has to start making his way up the train. But he cannot get past easily. He does get past eventually, but he's out on the grass.
I think the Lambo is going to follow down on the inside here.
And they've lost a lot of time to the drivers ahead. So all of a sudden, Vahamaki is right back into play, and Laubi drops down to P6. The man who started on the front row of the grid had a poor start and now has been overtaken by 2 cars. And these guys have now got to work hard to try to bridge the gap that has formed to the top 4.
Yeah, the dual driver absolutely being sent there. It was a great move by the purple car. Sorry for the name. Mika? Yeah, great move.
Penalty for Jose Carlos on Calvez. The silver for causing an incident involving multiple cars.
Right. But you are right, Tom. Yeah, 2-second gap. Obviously, he's gained a position, but we are still quite far from the pit stop, so maybe not a net gain overall with that decision. I mean, Tom's twice the driver I ever be, so. But maybe it just didn't go to plan. Maybe he thought he could execute the overtake quicker, and it ended up going 3 corners. And yeah, let's see. We've got a lot of WSR esports drivers out there. I mean, there's 5 in the top 9. So let's see.
Liam Slipdiff's in chat asking, Horn? No. Unfortunately not. That is the one thing that would make this a perfect race is if Nick Horn was out there, but you should try to qualify for this if you could see him give it a go. As Sani versus Valchase.
Yeah, good little battle here.
Yeah, it looks like Valchase will stay ahead. There is a driver just ahead as well. He might give them a little bit of a draft. Here it comes Sani. You could have the opportunity to strike back straight away down his turn 5.
He timed it pretty well. You could have timed it even better, but he's timed it well enough. He can pick either side and get this done. Just got to be committal on the brakes around the outside and trust that the Porsches. No, he has not gone committal. He's actually going to open up a position on the inside, and he will not get that close now. He might find 2 cars get him on the inside here. Yeah. Yep. 1 and 2. Let's see if this black Ferrari wants to fight around the outside. He's got a little bit slippy there, so he might be able to keep one of these positions. Yeah, if you're going to go around the outside, you've got to go around the outside. If not, just cover off the inside.
Well, he might come back here, though. You could never quite get fully ahead, so he could never cover off the inside line. Now there's contact. And, well, that was lucky. Considering how that usually ends, that would be a driver into the bridge right there. Instead, Sani is able to keep that position, but he's had a miserable few corners. He's probably lost about 2.5 seconds on this lap fighting, plus a couple of places.
He's not making friends there with that. Yeah, he swamped himself. It's unfortunate. Obviously, it's easy for us and me to be commenting in the booth, but yeah, this is going to turn into a big battle now. This group, we're all gaggled up.
That was a send from Stevens on Trailsma, I believe.
Yeah, it's giving Sane some breathing space.
Trailsma from Bolivia, I believe. Or how we had to put it into our scoring system, the plurinational state of Bolivia.
Okay, so Tom in P4 is pushing. He really wants that draft back. He's closed up 6/10 of it. He's obviously forgoing a bit of fuel saving right now to try and lock that in. So he's currently got the fastest lap on track. It's not going to be easy though. And obviously at some point, obviously he has a fuel target in mind. He knows what he's doing, so hopefully he can get it done in time. 1.4 seconds, 1.3, so he's really pushing. He just wants to get that back and get back on in the train. Massive train from P10 all the way down to
this man, Sanjay talking.
19, yeah.
Yeah, being, well, 2 of the front runners in this train are Varpanen and Lopez, top 2 out of the amateur drivers. But yeah, Dave Faker's done well to hold on to this 9th position overall, where he's pretty much been from the start. I did say he always finishes a P6, and 9 is basically an upside down 6, right? So
it's exactly an upside down.
Yeah, so I'm taking that as a win for me.
Tom's got that gap down to 1.23, 1.22, so it's very clear. He can smell the draft. 1.1.
Yeah.
It's really close now.
And Valhamaki is just close enough as well to be dragged along. Into the pits comes Erdely. That is very early. That's about 10 minutes earlier than what some of his rivals will do.
Correct. Well, it hurts Tom's chance of getting draft, so one clever strategy. Because it's another car now he needs to catch. He's now 2 seconds off the possibility of draft, so maybe teammates just working together there. Hopefully, he's strategically found a pocket out there. He can come out and log his laps, but the only thing he misses out on is obviously that low fuel running. you know, he doesn't get to run essentially quali fuel, have a light car, because he's filling it back up again now to the end.
Bit of an issue for Bretones, by the way, recently. Just dropped to 16th place and actually had to go back to the pits as well, maybe for a fast repair. Adurley just coming out of the pits now. He's got very little traffic, to be fair, as Adurley. Might catch up to some eventually.
Yeah, I think he will.
But
5 seconds.
None immediately.
But yeah, I mean, it destroys Tom's chance of draft that we were covering just a moment ago, because it's definitely hurt. And obviously, if he wants to now catch the next guy, it's even more fuel he has to burn. So, possibly a clever strat call there from the early pit. Here's some replays coming in. Oh,
So this is Bretones, I believe, and Ivan Rodrigo. So Rodrigo didn't lose too bad, but Bretones definitely did. I think that's the outside driver's fault. I think
yeah,
he
it looks
squeezed
like
him.
it. As long as he's significantly alongside there on the apex, which it looked like, but again, we don't have all the camera angles. But yeah, it looked like the outside cars.
Well, these guys are very close. Hopefully they don't start battling, because it's it's disadvantaged them enough with the battling that has gone on. And they need to work together now. Even if Laubeach feels like he's faster, if they fight now, then they will lose any of the small draft that they've got on Raya ahead.
Correct. Yeah, I think Ferguson's argument here is you don't have the draft, so... Or does he have the draft?
I think Mikey's got the draft. It's, what, 1 second?
It's close. So Ferguson just might be concerned that he's not showing the pace to keep it. As we've seen some pit stops, almost a Vettel moment on entry there with, is that Seth? Yeah. Seth trying to get an overtake done down pit road. And he isn't running the pit limiter, he's running that manually, so he is edging the Lambo. Nicely done from Eric there.
Most questionable overtake that I've seen in a while. It's rare that you see someone overtaking the pit lane, but that's exactly what he's done. He's just outpaced him in the... Oh, he overshot. He overshot as well. Did the Lamborghini.
Yep. And Eric's a very good fuel saver, as we know, so...
5-second process penalty for Rodrigo for turning in, so exactly what we said.
Oh, the one we just watched, yeah.
Eventually there's going to be a program, David, where we can just say stuff and like an AI will take our sort of comments and say, ah, yes, they believe that.
Yeah, but you have to be careful what you say, like...
Oh,
you know,
no, but that's
if I say
fun of it,
a
isn't it?
flying statement, oh my god, P5 back should just be penalised for that, and boom, but
Yeah.
everyone's got to drive through.
Or like us saying, oh, that livery's rubbish, they shouldn't even be in the race.
Boom.
Comes up as a DQ.
Yeah, inappropriate livery. Hanging around the outside, just trying to get him offline. Not sure what it's going to achieve.
And so Lenaway got past Varvanen, or did Varvanen get past Lenaway? Either way, they're now 2 seconds back from Varvanen. Varvanen's way up the road. I think it was Lenaway going past Partsanen, so that is bad news for Partsanen. He wants to keep tabs with the class leader, but now is up to 2.3 seconds. That's the biggest the gap has been pretty much from the start of the race. Prada is into the pit, so I am really surprised to see how many drivers are willing to go for the early stop. Might be tyres as well, like if tyre wear is really bad, maybe they're thinking, well, let's take the 2 tyres now and that'll give us a bit of a boost.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are top tier. They're sticking to a strat that was already predefined before the race, so yeah, it could just be peak tyre performance, could be a multitude of things with traffic or who knows. Tokyo, I think he's just settling in. I think he's got the pace for a couple of positions here, but it looks like he's settling into the pit stop. It's always nice to jump, if you've got the possibility to jump 3 cars in pit road. It's good to make it happen. Although he does have a run here. Let's see what his body language is. His body language is move out the way, yes. His body language is very much that. Is he going to go deep on the brakes? No. So unfortunately, all he did was burn a lot of fuel.
Sanchez coming out of the pits. There goes Eric Rousset. He's come out into some very good clean air, and he's willing to use the grass a bit as well. As we said, they're limited to 20 incidents during the race, and Seth definitely burned one there. Tunstead being overtaken by Erdley. Erdley has already pitted, of course, was P3.
Yeah, this is a nightmare for him then. This is, we
Well-
was listing all the strategy calls, but
Well, on that last lap, he went 9 tenths faster than the leaders. So I think with those fresh tyres, I think he's really being benefited right now, and I think he will get track position. But I think
If-
when the others change their tyres, then they might have more pace coming into the race.
I mean, let's see, because I assume it's not a blue flag in front, right? Obviously, it's just
Okay.
position, so I don't.
But the position that he made up just now didn't seem like he lost any time. This one, he might get a bit of drafts up to Canada. He might lose a bit of time through Bill Mitchell Bend. Here comes Ferguson, still the top two. Stay out.
Nice entry.
And Partsonen in as well. I think that's a good strap from Partsonen, being aggressive, trying to take it to Varvanen, who was going away from him in the last few minutes. So Dave Baker, oh, he's in 5th place. Must be in 6th, but there he is ahead of Mitchell and Claessens. These two have been glued to one another from the start. But yeah, it is interesting, this strategy, how a lot of drivers wanting to pit around the halfway mark rather than what we usually see, which is burn all the fuel that you possibly can so you get the low fuel running. Usually, the vast majority would leave it till 35 minutes in. Instead, we've already had almost half the field,
Yeah.
over half the field, have pitted.
All I can think it is the track temp just
Yeah.
falling the tyre out of optimal, and they're probably taking lefts, I assume, here, if there's time, which for an hour race there is. So they're probably just making sure they always have quote-unquote peak tyre. But if you've been really looking after it, maybe Lewis from the start, chose this strategy and tested his long runs, and he's able to just make that tyre go a lot longer, then he'll have fresher tyres come the end of the race.
So Prada, who just came into the pits, has lost against Erdley, who was the first driver to come into the pits. So by that judgment, Erdley should comfortably be in the lead. It'll be a question of whether Prada can get up ahead of Woods. And right, this is a fun race which is brewing, because it's all going to come to a conclusion on the last lap.
Erdley's pit stop was significantly quicker, over 1.5 seconds quicker than Lucas, so that might explain,
Which is risky, seeing that he has spent the last 10 minutes not in draft. Like, this strategy is not good for fuel saving because he's not in a pack.
Everyone in.
Everyone else is in now, yeah.
Well, apart from Justin, just to throw off my comment, but all the the front 6 are boxing.
So this is, I think what will be interesting here is Woods and Raya versus versus Prada, because Erdley is going to be ahead, but I think that the question is
Erdley's pit stop is fast compared to everyone. Yeah, a couple of seconds. I mean, we talk about Racef being really good on fuel. We're talking about 1.5 seconds quicker. I think that's a lot less fuel.
Woods stationary for 21 seconds. Raya, Raya I think may have sped. Tom Raya's chances of winning this race are over, because he is stationary for over 30 seconds. They should be stationary for 20 seconds, and you can see how the Apex Racing Academy driver is leaking positions, and it is a demanding pit entry here, and he has made a mistake there.
Erdl would have been ahead anyway, but Tokyo P2, stop the count, he says. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, again, Erdl's pit stop 1.5 seconds quicker than Lewis Woods, 1.5 seconds quicker than Prada, 2-odd seconds quicker than Lebech. I don't. Obviously, I don't know what to say.
Well, I didn't think he's got enough fuel, unless he's banking on there being one less lap compared to what everyone else is thinking. I mean, that's so different to everyone else. So Raya got a speeding penalty. He went 20 kilometers over the limit. You can half make that back because it's not necessarily where you are on the line. It's like a it's a range. So if you're 5 kilometers over when you come in, if you're 5 kilometers under a few minutes later, you can balance it out. But when you're 20 kilometers over, then it's impossible, really. Clarson's into the pits. The chat, by the way, very happy. Glenn Andre and Chris Chatterton, great to have you guys around.
Hello, hello.
And it's cool to see you as well, Tokyo representing Pistanda Nomads. I think he joined that team a few months ago and driving well in that livery as well.
If Tokyo's box is ahead of Clarson's, he might show as leading the race for about 3 milliseconds.
I think no, he's behind. I think it's based on practice time, isn't it? Or qualifying time, and I think he was behind on both. So P2 is when it peaked for him. So Erdley now with a 2.5 second margin, but with 4 lap older tyres than Lewis Woods.
Here's where the worry is for him. His teammates that were on track with him, in position with him, put in 1.55 seconds worth of fuel more.
Yeah.
And that's his teammates, like the guys he was drafting with, practiced with.
Oh, here comes Tokyo.
Audi around the outside. I think Tokyo better hold this nice and easy. Just got to be careful of the dive.
Well, that is a bit of an advantage of going for the pitsing second, is that you have the inside line when you come out of the pits, because yeah, he was really able to lodge himself in the middle of that pack of drivers. And
this,
with that,
this is going to get nasty. This we're going to see, or unless he's pushing him to try and get clear. But I think there's going to be two down the inside. Both teammates. There's one. There's the other. Bit more. Yeah, no, he didn't fancy joining his teammate just there. He wanted to survive. The Audi is going to lose the position here. Oh, the Audi still went for it.
And they can't avoid behind either. Oh, no. That's Demir Bass, is it? Who made contact? Or
That's
Valverde?
That's a shame.
It was Demir Bass. Well, the initial contact nearly involved a couple of drivers, but they managed to avoid any significant contact. And then Demir Bass, hopefully he untakes his faster pet, because he's going to need it.
Yeah, we'll see for half a lap he may... Oh, is that Tom coming through? Yep.
Oh, careful.
Loving the purple under trait. I will be messaging Tom asking for that.
Demonstrates just how far Tom fell off. You know, a driver in, outside the top 10 could have a spin and a crash, and still took Tom a couple of corners to catch and pass. 40-second hold that he had for going 20 kilometers over the speed limit in the pit lane.
Aye. So my eyes will be on Erdl's lap pace, but he just set the... No, sorry, he didn't just set the fastest lap of the race. He has the fastest lap of the race.
Well, he just lost a second though, right? Or, well, 6/10 in the last lap.
Yeah, I mean, he can't... Like, if he really is a whole lap of fuel down, he can't save it. Not competitively. I mean, I'm shocked at how much Lebeski lost. Obviously, Tom's pit start, Prada's... Yeah, I mean, it's created a much different outcome at the top. Even Ferguson stands 7th. It's not... As we see the delta gap differences...
Yeah, of course, you can see that gap was initially very big because of the pit stop, but yeah, that's a bit more reflected. That's the gap since the pit stop for Woods, and it has been coming down. Albeit on this lap, they have been matching each other. Let's have a look at some replays here.
Yeah, so nice and cleanly done. Obviously, I predicted the Audi would get done here, so let's have a quick look. It's hard to see from the angle, but... Oh, here we go. Well, no, it's not clear cut. The Freud... Yeah, the Freud's... Oh,
Bad read, John.
well, he meant well. he did mean well. He was trying to get off the racing line. I know what you mean. I do agree. No movement's always better than movement, but... Yeah.
Because that... and I think that was a great demonstration of exactly that point, because... The other driver turned right into him, but the reason why he turned right into him was because he was expecting him to continue throttling and cover the left side. So yeah, I think that'll be a penalty for the rejoin. I don't think there will be any need for a penalty for anything that happened before that.
No, it's probably a racing incident. It did look like the Ferrari was delaying the turn to make it awkward for the Audi, and the Audi turned, but it wasn't as clear cut as I thought it was going to be. I thought the Audi just turned in, but no, the Ferrari was quite late to turn in, so I don't know. I will leave that to the stewards, who are probably mulling over it right now. They can look at 30 different camera angles in 20 seconds, you know, and analyze top down and entry speeds and when they brake and everything.
Yeah, it's so different to I mean, we take it for granted in sim racing, don't we? But you know, we've got like VAR, like,
yeah,
but to the extreme.
Correct.
Like VAR would dream to have exactly what we have in sim racing.
Never going to get that down the outside though. Let's see. Merck can just focus on his exit here. He's got the faster car in a straight line. Let's see. Yeah.
And he's clear.
Whoa.
And that grunt as well coming out of the corner is very strong. Here comes Riot.
Yeah. After Tom lifted after he nearly pushed him off the track. I don't think he knew he was there.
Tom might just send this one. Not on the inside though, on the outside. We'll try to get the cut back.
He is, yeah.
And it's always frustrating whenever you can't quite get the move done before the middle sector, because then it's very tricky to pass around this section. And of course, this section is where the top drivers are able to demonstrate their pace, because it's all the corners. And that is where those guys are very quick.
Tom with the send.
So maybe you can pass around there. And it's wide as well for Lau. And look at the move as well in the background. Nearly contact.
Nearly, yeah.
Between Kovacs and the opportunistic Stevens.
Yeah, he tried to take advantage of Ferrari offline, defending. Not defending, you know, trying to facilitate the pass.
E2 Nyman supporting Partsman, Hackler and Sani. I think they might be our Finnish drivers. 10-second post penalty for Corbin Lenaway.
Ooh, which one was that?
Was that the one that we saw at turn 6?
Maybe.
Lap 18. Yeah, maybe. I think that was on lap 18. Yeah, I think it was.
You know, Corbin's in a BMW, so that wasn't any of the two we just reviewed. No, that wasn't the one we just reviewed. Must have been earlier.
Turning into a good race, it's turning into a good race for Vahamaki. He's got past Ash, who let that go very easily. Maybe Steven is a bit tight on fuel himself. I think Vahamaki took 4 tyres because he was stationed for 23.5 seconds. Most drivers are sort of 19, 20, or 19, 20, 21, 22. It's all fairly evenly spread. But he's in the 23, is Vahamaki, despite having quite a lot of draft. So I think he took all 4 tyres.
Maybe. We did see someone miss their box. I'm just trying to think who it was. It was one of the top runners.
Yeah, it could have been him.
I just can't remember who, because we was looking at the other driver at the time.
Gap between the leaders.
Yeah, it's flying down.
Well, if Erdely is short on fuel, the sooner he gives up the lead, the better. So then he can be sort of towed along.
I don't know, man. Like, the tow isn't going to be enough. Like, if it's a whole lap down, the tow isn't going to be enough. Yeah. He has to just do what he's doing and keep doing it, but he won't be able to hang on to. I don't think he'll be able to hang on to Woods if the numbers are as severe as we think it is. It could be, that the others will plan it. I just don't think they'll be playing it safe. There's a bunch of 9K dudes out there.
It doesn't look like they're going to be tight on an extra lap. They're going to cross the line with 15:10 to go. So we've got, 8 more laps. It's basically a 2-minute lap. So it's not like a marginal one where they do 1 extra lap or not. I think they all knew when they came to the pits how many laps they'd go. I just wonder maybe if Erdely took as much fuel as his calculator was saying to him based on those early runnings when they were all in a pack, and now that he's by himself, he may have pushed it too far. We'll see. Half a second now, the gap between the top 2.
Yep. I don't think it's going to last long.
still these two glued to one another. Baker always seems to be ahead though. Mitchell has actually got past both of them though. I'm not sure if that was during the pit stops, but he's actually pretty much broken the draft as well. So good work there from Angelo Mitchell to move into 8th place. Here comes Claessens.
He's trying to set up the switchback. Let's see.
Partner, unsafe rejoin. 10-second post-race. Was that the rejoin we saw here, you think?
Could be. Yeah. Yeah, if it's the Ferrari driver, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, obviously, it's a tough one to call because obviously his intent was right, but obviously his intent isn't what counts, right? End of the day, he caused an accident, so yeah, I understand it. But his natural instinct was, oh, I need to get off the racing line.
And we did see a drive-through penalty as well for an earlier rejoin, so they didn't think it was as severe as an earlier rejoin, so there was some
leeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Some more replays coming in.
Oh, no. That is, I think that's one of the worst moves I've seen this year, honestly. I mean, I think he'll argue that the Audi moved, but I don't think it did.
That's tough.
No, I think he's gone for like the dummy, thinking, oh, this is going to be so sweet when I go for this. And there was never a gap on the inside.
Yeah, I think it's tight. Obviously, it's up to the stewards. It didn't look like there was a whole car gap. He got onto the grass and the asphalt initially, and the Audi doesn't have to, yield make-believe space. So, yeah, I don't think there was I don't think he had 4 tyres on the asphalt at any point on the left-hand side. I've actually been overtaken. Very similar move, but they all 4 tired down the left and got it stopped.
At this circuit?
At that corner.
At that corner, yeah.
Unbelievable. We spoke after, we found the funny side of it, but yeah. Unbelievable.
That's not really something that iRacing considers. I feel like grass in real life or objects in real life are way more bumpy than what they are in iRacing. When you go on the grass in iRacing, it's just really smooth. Whereas I think there should be more sort of crevices.
So one thing, we don't talk about much, but I've experienced because of social media and social marketing and stuff, is a few moves that I've done that have gone viral. Lots of people who don't know iRacing call the move out like, no, that's an illegal overtake. You took an off track during an overtake. And I see their point immediately. In most other games, that's not right, is it? Off track is an off track, sure, but should you be able to take an off track to get an overtake? Last corner Red Bull, you just cut the inside, right? Oh, off track, but you now win the race. So, yeah, I've been on the other side of that before. The iRacing feature top 10 thing, I won. I got more. I thought, wow, I'm going to be famous. No, I'm just hated now. Because it was a double off track. Oh, well.
You'll need to send me the link to that one. I'll be curious. I mean, and people famously hate you on social media.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
After the post that we put out,
yeah,
170,000 people saying
very proud.
David's commentary was bad.
Yeah.
It came to a rejoin verdict.
I still sleep really well.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom making himself into P19 in class there. Obviously not the race he wants. Big shame. Right, 3/10, Lewis. But he's not gaining like a guy who's...
Well, I guess he's there now, isn't he? And I guess it's just a case of when he bites. But he's in range for an overtake, should he choose to do so.
Oh. Lewis having a look.
Harkler, 10-second post-race penalty for causing a collision. I didn't believe we saw that one. It's on lap 21. Now on lap 24. The leaders are, at least. So, and the gap actually just extending out a little bit again. Prada 2.3 seconds back. He's not really gaining too much. Remember, Woods has the freshest tyres, and with the high track temperature, it does seem like newer tyres is an advantage. Woods pits on lap 16.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Wait, this is... Corbin who got the penalty for something similar.
Yeah. And he's collided with Trielsma. Well, again, I hope they have the faster pack available. The race is ruined either way. Another reposition for Raya, at least.
Mid is still going. Position P5 now. He's up 2 positions. I know he gave that, you know, he wasn't able to fight the last position, but still running very strong.
And he's keeping I mean, Daniel Ash has really come back. Or Stephen Ash, sorry. Is that Daniel Ash?
There was, I thought. I also believe you that there was a Daniel Ash.
Somewhere, someplace, there is a Daniel Ash out there. I'm not sure if he's in this race. He's certainly not in P6 in this race. That is Stephen Ash. It's all over. And he is staying close to Mackie.
Yeah, perhaps he's just not in this race, but I thought it was Daniel Ash as well. Unbelievable.
Maybe there's another... I don't know. Hey, there's a rabbit hole we can't afford to. We've got 8 minutes to go in this race. No time to look for Daniel Ashes. Thijs Stevens we are watching, and this could be a move for him as Dryelsma comes into the pits for repairs. So all these guys get promoted a position. Well, actually, they don't really. They get promoted a position overall.
But that's not what counts for this series, right?
Exactly. Although it benefits one of these guys. So Stevens is a Demir Bass after his issues earlier on. He is a pro. And he's also someone who doesn't have much off the front of his car, and that is going to affect his straight line speed, and maybe it's going to deny him a chance to make this move, as coming up behind them with massive overspeed is Martin Kovacs, who moves past. All these drivers, by the way, on a fixed setup. This is a fixed setup series.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I should have said that.
Yeah. I do remember the debriefing, me asking you any standout detail.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's like this other series. And,
yeah.
Apart from that fairly significant rule.
So that obviously doubles down on Erdely's fuel situation. Then you know, it's. I don't know how
he's. They can't change the fuel at the start of the race, can they?
But not just that, any wing or trickery with like trying to just burn less fuel. It now just comes down to your right foot and your skill, and I mean, it's impressive. An 18.4 pit stop, and we're not seeing Woods catch. Woods put in 1.5 seconds worth more fuel. I mean, it could. I mean, there's always a chance that Lewis and Lucas did put in the same fuel, and they just didn't have great pit stops. That's the other. You know, it's a long. Corbin's going to be serving some penalties.
Bad news for the Wizard Korea, who is a big Corbin supporter. And, yeah, unfortunately Corbin there has got a 10-second post-race penalty.
David Baker having a look here.
I think Claessens will contemplate whether he wants to continue sim racing if he doesn't beat Baker, because he has been sat behind him 0.2 of a second behind for the past 54 minutes and 20 seconds, and he still can't get past. And catching up to them now is Eric Roseth, who has sort of been lingering behind these drivers, but not quite with the pace to overtake them. He actually fell back a little bit earlier on to Roseth in the very early stages, after I think clearing both of these drivers. But he's right back with them now.
As Duffner comes into the pits. Maybe just a drive-through. Just checking.
So who do you think's gonna win the race? Do you think Woods is just waiting? Or
I'm really not sure, but yeah, I think Woods.
Sure. Well, I'll quit early then to make it interesting, at least. There they are. Gap 0.45 on that last lap. Woods was 0.06 faster. We're not even sure if Erdley has enough fuel to get to the end of the race, but with the way that he continues to push and have pretty much as good a pace as anyone on track, does indicate he does have enough. Roseth has made a mistake, and it is the classic dropping a wheel on the dirt on the outside of the final corner.
Because you can drop 2, you just cannot drop 1. And if it's that rear left when you throttle and start turning, yeah, it's very difficult to save. We've all been there. I famously, well, infamously blew an IMSA win there in the last corner. Yeah, all I had to do was drive in a straight line to win. You know, I even saw it as
How
a round.
far ahead were you of the rest?
Not far, unfortunately. Like 1 second and 3 seconds. So yeah, I think I finished 4th or third. Sorry. This is the Roseth replay. Let's see.
Oh, we were wrong. What a shame. It was the inside grass.
Inside. Yeah, I think he was just a little blindsided following so closely. There's no other reason. You don't. Yeah. He's just a little bit blind following that closely in the big old Ford. I honestly feel like I'm driving a truck when I'm in that thing.
Sure.
Honestly. If you're getting out the Porsche or something. Nicely handled. But yeah, I mean, Erdley seems to have this. Very impressive.
Yeah, I've just been waiting for Woods to pull the trigger, but I don't think it's Woods not being fast enough. I think it's just Erdley having phenomenal pace.
Obviously, one thing here, you do not want to splutter at the end because you're uphill to the finish line.
Sure.
You lose so much time if it splutters once. It's just, yeah, it's a big hill.
Well, they're now crossing the line to start their penultimate lap. They crossed the line with about... the race would have had to have been about 35 seconds shorter in order to do 1 less lap. So I don't think anyone would have got confused with their calculations. 35 seconds is a decent margin. That's like not within the margin of error. So yeah, Gabriel seems confident that he's got the fuel. 0.4 of a second. He lost a little bit of time on that last lap, but not much. Within 1,000th of one others through sector 1 on this lap. And if Woods is going to win this race, he's got to get it done imminently. Wide line for Erdley. You can't push it too far, otherwise you think you will get a slowdown eventually. But
Roseth just lost more positions, I think. I think he definitely just lost a position to Miguel Alonso.
Allowed just going past Valchasse as well.
Of course, it could have been Roseth just going side by side for a brief second there. I caught it at the corner. Yeah, looks like Gabriel's got this unless he runs out of fuel over the peak. Surprise him.
Would be good for his championship bid, obviously, because round 1 of the season was won by Hugh Barter, who came, messed up his first qualifying lap, didn't do a good second qualifying lap, and then went back to bed.
Yeah, there's only 2 other people that even did it in the 19s. His teammate in 19.5, and then Roseth, who we always compliment for good fuel saving in 19.9. Everyone else is in the 20s or 21 seconds pit stop. And let's not forget, he wasn't an 18 a high, it was an 18.4.
Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting to see if he comes into the pits with 1 lap to go, but no, he's continuing rounds. They are starting the last lap as Tom Breyer gains another place, picks up a 1x by clipping the grass, but that's fine. He's up to 17th in the pros.
Oh, it's fine for him to 1x overtake, is it? It's just me. It's just me. It was December 21, by the way, if you want to look it up.
Sure.
December 2021. A long time ago, but not forgotten. So, white flag.
This is it. This is his best chance. He could get it done at Canada. He could even get it done on the run to the line, but turn 5 is overwhelmingly his best chance, Lewis Woods, and he is not close enough.
David Baker's lost that position.
Dive.
To Clausen's.
Ah, finally. What a strategy call this is from Gabriel Erdley. He came into the pits about 25 minutes into the race. Took advantage of the slightly fresher tyres, got track position, and of course had an ultra short pit stop. and has since pulled or held on to the lead. But Maggie holding on against Ash. I don't think Ash will be able to retaliate after that strong defensive maneuver. And we are just waiting to see if the numbers are all good for Gabriel Erdely, because it is only that fuel which can deny him the race win now for round 2 of the Racing Unleashed GT3 series. Because Woods, as has been the case for the last 10 minutes, is just a little bit too far back to go for a move.
Yeah, great drive from these two. Really gapped the rest. I mean, obviously, they ran in a train since pit stop, but yeah. Woods looked like he had that from the overtake he made from P2 to take the lead, but decided down pit road, unless he splutters.
Here we go then, the final rise up the hill, and it is going to be a second meeting of the season, and the win goes to Gabriel Erdely. Congratulations to him. And he beats Lewis Woods by 0.3 of a second across the line. What a brilliant strategy call. He nailed every aspect of that. And it is a very well-deserved win in his prize. So Ferrari 1, 2, 3. Prada rounds out the podium. And top of the amateur drivers, and continuing a 100% scoring record. 150 points out of 150 now for Eno Varvanen with his second race victory of the season. Lopez pushing him hard, 1.2 seconds at the line. And we might have a photo finish here because of the grunts from the Mustang, but it's not enough. No. Porsche holds on. But Seth could not get past Alonso. Bad end to the race for Seth after a solo mistake. And there will be a dozen other drivers close behind, all finishing the race in close proximity.
Yeah, you have to forgo the draft there. You know, it's tough when you follow. You know, the closer you are, the less draft you have. You like, because you have to pull out of it to go for the move. So just not enough of a run there. Fantastic race though.
Really good. And I was just waiting for it to trigger. You know, I was waiting for that. For that move late on for Woods, where maybe he was waiting behind and then he was going to go for it, but it never came because Gabriel was strong enough with his pace.
I mean, look, even if we just use his teammates as reference for pit stop time, so we got less of a variance. It's impressive, very impressive, absolutely dominant pit stop. 1.5 against, was it? I can see 4 or 5 9K drivers.
Yeah. Well, we are going to be able to have a chat with him. Gabriel Erdely joins us now. Gabriel, congratulations. We were just talking about, and we have been talking about really for the second half of the race, about your pit stop. How on earth did you manage to save a second and a half of fuel compared to everyone else out on track?
To be honest, I don't really know myself. My pit stop was actually a mistake. I pitted 1 lap too early. I forgot about the fuel cap. So it was kind of an impromptu undercut and get out ahead of everyone. So, I mean, I'm very happy with the result. It's not how I would have envisioned my second half of the race going, but I'll take it.
When Lewis was catching you in the closing stages, he managed to get the gap from about 2.5 seconds to half a second in the space of 10 minutes or so. When he was gaining that gap, did you think that he was going to catch and pass you, or were you confident that once he got there, you were going to be able to hold him off?
Yeah, I genuinely thought it was all over. Like, because of my mistake, I had to save, like, I don't know, 3 liters of fuel in the last 25 minutes. I just thought Lewis would catch and pass me within the first 10 minutes, but I think he cooked his tires trying to catch me, and that really helped me because he couldn't really get any good exits towards the end, and I had the advantage because I was fuel saving. My tires were still cold, so at the end of the day, it was not quite enough for him. But I think if he was even in half a second closer, he would have got me when his tires were still fresh. So
sure, yeah, that is a very good point on that one. And looking ahead to the rest of the championship, I mean, are you going to go for the prize money and the overall title for this season? Do you think you're going to be able to make most of the 10 rounds?
Yeah, of course. I'm aiming for the title, obviously. Like, that's why I'm doing the championship. I think I have a good shot. You know, there's a lot of good guys in here like Hugh and all that, and Tom and stuff. But I feel like I've got a good shot against them, and I'm trying my best. So yeah.
Definitely. Oh, also, we should probably ask you what is the correct pronunciation? Christ, that's a bad blunder. Of your name. Erdely is what I was going to go for. But feel free to correct us because I feel like we might be saying it a few more times this year.
It's Erde. It's a pretty difficult one to say. So
Okay,
daily is it's fine. So
we will give it a good go. Well, congratulations, Gabriel. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Obviously my team, WSR Esports, a lot of good guys over there help me practice for the race. If you want to shout out Lucas, my teammate, did a good job as well. Good team strategy. So yeah, thanks to the team.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having a chat with us, Gabriel, and see you back next time.
Yeah, GG's.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Who are you going to drag in, David?
I haven't got drag abilities for this room.
Who would you like?
Yeah, I'll take the AM winner.
Sure.
Aeon, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, mate. Mega result, obviously pole position in class, but I think maybe the bigger takeaway is where you finished overall. You must be extremely happy. The way that race started, the big train that formed, the amount of fuel saving that's happened, but you stayed in there. And obviously, P2, was you aware that he had a drive-through penalty coming into the race because of qualifying infringement, or was that something you wasn't paying attention to?
Yeah, I saw Nathan had a drive-through.
Yeah, excellent pace. You must be really happy with the win. That's a double win. This is my first time covering it, but round 2, I think you won the last AM race as well.
Yeah, second win. Like the pace was pretty good. It was a very tough race. Lots of pressure from the pros, and yeah, but managed to stay in the train for quite long and keep out of trouble.
Yeah, no, excellent job. You did yourself proud. Was you happy with the Lambo? Are you happy with the choice for the end of the season? Because we've seen a lot of Ferraris rocking up, but you seem to be happy with your choice?
Yeah, I'm happy. I was a bit concerned with the straight line speed coming into this race. I didn't think it would be possible to win. Like I thought the only chance was really the qualifying, and that went really well. So I had a bit of a gap behind, so the Ferraris couldn't come past immediately. And yeah,
Executed excellently. Is this one of your favourite tracks? Is there many on this calendar you're nervous or excited about?
no, I wouldn't say this is my favorite. I didn't really enjoy it that much in the training. It was quite difficult, honestly, but yeah, I like it a bit more now.
Any standouts for the rest of the season that you're super excited for, tracks-wise?
Maybe Suzuka, I think that's, and Road Atlanta. I think those will be good for the Lamborghini, and probably quite nice to drive.
Yeah, great choices as well. Oh, obviously, hope your rest of the championship goes as well as it started. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Thanks to the team. Yeah, nothing more. Thanks to everybody watching, and yeah.
No, great. Excellent job, and best of luck next round. You're off to a brilliant start.
Thank you.
Eno Varvanen there. I like how he is a big supporter of Suzuka and Road Atlanta, which is pretty much my favourite circuit and probably your favourite circuit. So
I like it's not top. It's not. I don't
Road
dislike
Atlanta
it. Road
is
Atlanta's
your-
a fantastic
pretty much
track.
your favourite circuit. So yeah. Covered us both there. Next up, we'll have a chat with Lewis Woods, who joins us now. Lewis, can you hear us all right?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, we were really surprised that Gabriel's strategy worked. Gabriel was surprised that his strategy worked. Are you surprised that Gabriel's strategy worked?
Not fully. I kind of expected it when he did pit. And so I decided that I had to go long to cover that, and I also couldn't see whether we were going to run into traffic. So for that, I decided to play it safe and go long. it nearly worked, but I lost maybe a second or more because I missed the pit stall by a half a meter or something. I'm not sure whether Gabriel took left side tires because I was gaining maybe half a second per lap on the second stint. I think that was also partially because he had to fuel save so much, so we did a great job.
Gabriel was speculating that maybe when you caught him and pushing really hard, that you maybe overheated your tyres and that maybe made it more tricky to overtake him in the closing stages. What was that the case in the end?
I think it was most of it. It got to the stage where I was trying to push through that brick wall of dirty air around, I don't know, maybe 0.6 or something. And yeah, I started to slide the tyre and then it plateaued, so it was kind of equal with Gabriel. And then going into the downhill left, he takes a really wide line, so that kind of caught me out a little bit. So yeah, it could have been done, but no.
And next time we head to Hockenheim, is that a circuit that you're looking forward to visiting?
Not really, but luckily I'll miss it, so I'll be back for Daytona.
Well, you get 2 drop scores, so that is all good. You can make good use of that. Before we say goodbye, Lewis, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Just my teammates, Samuel and Jorge this week. They didn't race, but they were a good help.
Awesome. Well, thanks for jumping in with us, and yeah, best of luck for the next round.
Thank you.
Lewis Woods there, your second place finisher, so close to the win, some 3.4 tenths away from first race win in the series.
It was close.
Shall we have an interview with one more Jared? Well, seeing that we've had an interview with the top 2 of the pro, shall we have an interview with the second place Am?
Sure, Francisco, yeah?
Yep.
Hello, Francisco, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you loud and clear. Congratulations on P2 in class, and obviously a close one. Was it like 1 and a bit seconds in the end there?
Yeah.
Talk me through it. How was it?
Very, very tight. Yeah, I think I had more pace, but I made a mistake in the pit box. I missed the pit stall, so I lost a few seconds there, and then Aino came out ahead of me by 1 second or something. So yeah, and we had a few fights, a few close calls. Yeah, it was awesome. I enjoyed it very much.
Hey, you must be pleased because obviously P2 in class, but also very high finished across the pro field. Like I mean, your net result was very strong, and you looked strong all race.
What was my final position overall?
13th, I think.
Oh, not bad.
Any penalties or anything, but yeah, P13, and I say a field of a lot of cars. That's very impressive. Did you see the P2 guy got a drive-through for qualifying infringement? That must have made you obviously very happy that there was just one less guy to battle with, but did you see that occur?
Who was it? Nathan?
The name was Alu?
Yeah, Nathan. It was Nathan.
Nathan, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it because I think he had. I think I passed him on track on the first laps, so I was looking a bit in the mirror, but I did not see him anymore after I passed him. So yeah, I did not notice the drive-through.
And another Lambo driver. We've got the top 2 in AM using the Lamborghini. Are you happy with your car choice? Obviously, it's still a strong car, but was you worried about the amount of Ferraris and their straight line speed?
Yeah, I am not very happy with the Lambo because the Ferrari is much quicker. It's like I have no chance to pass them, and they can dive against me if they are remotely close after the corner exit in the straights. So not too happy with the car. I don't know if it will shine in any of the tracks above the Ferrari, but well, it's okay. I can battle for the championship with the Lambo.
Yeah, I mean, it's good on traction and good on tyres, so these long race formats, I think it's just a case of trying to really look after your tyres to, yeah, give you a fight against any Ferraris that you may need to fight. But obviously, big points. Any rounds that coming up that you're looking forward to, or any that you're rather nervous or worried about?
No, not really. I am doing my max for every round. I have pulled a lot of hours of training for both races, and it will be the same for every race. I don't know even the tracks, but I will be there and I will do my best.
I love that. That's great. Well, I hope to speak to you in future weeks, and good luck for them. Is anyone like to give a shout out to?
Thank you very much. Nothing else from me. Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations on the P2 finish.
Now that you asked me, I want to thank Alex Noguet. I don't know how he finished. Could you tell me?
I can scan in now. He finished P52 overall.
Yikes. Well, he helped me a lot with the training, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been this quick. So I just wanted to thank him, and obviously all my friends and family that are watching the stream.
Excellent. All right, great
That's
chat with you. Yeah.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, let's have a final interview now with our P3 Pro man, Lucas Prada, who joins us now. Lucas, how are you feeling after that one? Because it was a really tight race, but I imagine after taking pole position, there's a little bit of disappointment that it turned into a P3 in the end.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, as you said, a bit of mixed feelings from the race. Was definitely happy to put it on pole because didn't really feel like it was that good of a lap in quali. But yeah, put it on pole, started the race with pretty calmly. Everything went well. I just tried to manage my tires, manage the pace, not to make any mistakes because I was struggling a lot during practice with the cars. So I just knew I couldn't make any mistakes. And yeah, that went well until the pit stops where I don't know what really happened after I came out. Probably pushed too much on the tires. Probably didn't have the best laps, best out lap, and then until the end I was struggling a lot. Obviously Lewis and Gabe had much better pace. So as I said, bit of mixed feelings, but decent result, and hopefully we can improve on that next race.
Absolutely. That will certainly hopefully be the case on that one. Talk us through sort of the strategy when it came to that. I mean, were you certain that you're going to pit on lap 14? Because, usually in these races, we see the drivers go to lap 16, lap 17, use all the fuel and then take a bit more fuel. But obviously with the tyre wear, it seemed like some drivers were pitting a bit earlier. Were you fully committed to that lap 14 before the race, or was that something you decided during the first stint?
No, nothing I was certain on. I decided pretty much in the last corner I was going to pit. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have anyone in front of me going into the pits. And maybe try to do an undercut, but that didn't really work with the cold tires after the pits. And as I said, making a bit of mistake on my outlap definitely caused me the position. And then I tried to keep up with Lewis, but couldn't. So that's about it.
Well, it's still a good result for yourself, and it's still a great day as well for WSR Esports Butt Kicker. So best of luck for the future rounds, Lucas. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my team WSR and my teammates Gabe, Dan, and Stevo. They did a good job as well. So good points for the team, and hopefully we can do even better next round.
Absolutely, I'm sure that you'll be threatening to occupy all 3 spots in a few of the future rounds of the championship. Thanks for joining us, and best of luck in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you. See you.
So that was Lucas Prada there, finishing P3 out of the pro drivers tonight. So really fun race tonight, and of course there is still an opportunity for you to sign up as well for the remaining rounds. All you need to do is go over to apexracingleague.com, purchase a free entry to the series, and then you can join pre-qualifying, which are events hosted throughout the week before an event on the Sunday. And you just need to put in a good enough lap time and get in the top 30 pro or AM drivers. and you get to race on the Sunday. So do give it a go and visit apexracingleague.com in order to sign up to the series. But I mean, looking forward to the next round of the championship, David. Hockenheim, you know, usually quite a tetchy circuit when it comes to lap 1 stuff, but I was really impressed by the quality of driving, particularly in those early stages tonight.
100%. Yeah, T1 Hockenheim's fine if you know, the left-hand side of the field all commits to the off-track. Everyone gets through okay. I like the track for GT3 racing. I once again, much like Road America, I just enjoy the racing there in GTs. But yeah, it can be tricky with T1, just the precision of that curb hit, and if anyone gets it wrong on the inside sausage or the outside, you know, that the outside curb sometimes just doesn't act like you would hope it would. It can cause some problems, especially in a big field like this, but I think we'll see some great racing.
Absolutely. That will be in 2 weeks' time. Do tune in on Racing Unleashed Twitch channel in order to catch all the action for that race, along with all the other races as well coming up to the end of the year. Every 2 weeks, all the way to December, where we will crown our Pro and Am champions and give them plenty of prize money as well. Well, that pretty much rounds out the broadcast then. So my name has been Sam Fitzpatrick. I've been alongside David Sampson, and from everyone here at the Apex Racing TV esports studio, we will be going now, and we'll see you back in 2 weeks' time. See you then.
Later.